Hello everybody, and welcome to another video. As you can see, today's video is going to be a pre-recorded drawing, so you don't really have to focus on the drawing, it's there for you guys to just enjoy. But we are going to talk about a topic that's probably going to help a lot of you guys. It's a topic that I get asked about a lot, and I'm going to use my notes that I took from nice, really successful artists like Jake Parker and other artists that I actually talked to and I was able to listen to when I went to CTN Expo this last November. And I'm going to go through the notes that I took. I'm going to point out all the stuff that I thought was really important from what they said. And I'm going to also give you guys a little bit of insight into what I think and my personal experience with, social media. So let's get started. So we're going to go on a point-by-point basis, and it's going to be around 10 or 11 points. So you guys can take notes. It'll be easier for you guys to go back and actually, go point by point and try to structure yourselves, and maybe that way it'll be a little bit easier to tackle. Or at least it'll be a little bit easier to understand all this information. Okay. Well, obviously, you guys are listening to this because you guys realize that social media in general is a lot bigger than a lot of the cultural medias that we have out there right now. That is TV, news, and radio. All those serve their purpose, but when it comes down to being an artist, and an independent artist at that, or somebody trying to come up and build your brand, social media is going to be your biggest tool because that's where you're going to get your work, that's where you're going to get your fan base, and that's where you're going to be able to share your work with everybody without having to expend a lot of money to do it. So, step 1. Start with a plan. Well, this is exactly what I mean by that. What do you want to use your social media for? Do you want it to sell a product that you're making? Do you want it to just get work? Freelance work, contract work, or are you using it as a gallery site? Are you just getting it so you can influence other people? Maybe you just want to make a nice positive influence on other people without anything back. Maybe it's just for fun. Maybe it's to connect with other artists that you think are really cool. Or maybe you want to create a big community and a fan base and a big following for your work. That's why I started doing it, the last one. More than anything, I just wanted to get my work out there and see if people actually enjoyed it. So, start with a plan. Understand what you want to get out of it. And that's step 1. Step 2. Set yourself apart from everybody else. It's kind of hard, especially if you're an artist, to try to find a reason why you are any different than anybody else. But, no, let's see. If we break it down like this, maybe it'll help. Who are you? First of all, who are you? What do you want to accomplish with this, with your site, with your Instagram, with your Facebook? What do you want to accomplish? You got to realize that even if let's just put this aside to like a little pin to the side. You got to realize that even if you follow all these steps, if you haven't gotten your work to be up to a certain level of quality, you might not get the response that you might want. There's a reason that, people like Loish and Jake Parker have hundreds of thousands of people following them. It's because their work is amazing, and I'm not saying that you have to be at that level to be able to get, a following. Obviously, I don't think that I'm at that level, but I'm comfortable enough with my artwork that it shows whenever I post it. So therefore people, come to it and they want to see more of what I do. So you have to have a certain level of skill to where you are happy to share it. If you're feeling not so confident about your work, you have to realize that maybe you're not at a point where you should be sharing it yet, and you should still be working on it. Another point that's very important: why should audiences return over and over and over to see your page? If you have really cool artwork, obviously, they're going to come back. But what other reasons do they have to come back over and over and check out your pictures or your posts every single day? Why do they have to search you out? This is a tricky one to actually manage because, as an artist, maybe you're not really posting super relevant stuff to each other every single day. But it doesn't have to be necessarily just what you are posting as a visual. It can be what you say. It can be anything, really. If you let people involved into your life, maybe that's a way in. If you try to be somebody that people can sympathize with in some way or another, and then they'll come back because they'll see a little bit of themselves in you. A third one, point 3. The name that you decide to go with for all your social media should stay consistent. It should, if you go with, let's say, Tiki Master of the Arts for one of your social media, and then you go with another one that's like Platypus Lover 73 for another, guess what? They're not going to be able to go from one platform to the other knowing it's the same person. I try to keep everything consistent. That's why I have Rodgon the Artist on my YouTube, Rodgon the Artist on my Instagram, Rodgon the Artist on my Facebook fan page, my email. Everything is Rodgon the Artist. I decided on this a long time ago, back in school, that Rodgon would be the way that I go. And unfortunately, there's this other guy called Rodgon that's a pianist. And there's another Rodgon that's a 3D sculptor. He's really awesome, by the way. And so I had to go beyond just Rodgon. So I chose Rodgon the Artist. Yeah, it's a little bit long. I could have been with Rodgon Art or something like that, but kept it consistent. It's kept consistent for several years now. And if you Google Rodgon the Artist, guess what? It's going to be me. So keep your names consistent. If you have to go back and change them, do it. Just make sure that all your names are consistent throughout all your social medias. Point number 4. Your profiles. I see a lot of you guys, especially on Instagram, that try to cram every little single piece of information about you in your profile. And it's a little overwhelming for a lot of people. Just keep it nice and short. Tell people who you are, how they can contact you, and how they can see your work. Most of the time, it's just a link to your website. If you're an illustrator, I'm an illustrator and designer. If you are a painter, well, you're a painter. If you just like to doodle, hey, I'm a doodler supreme. You can post anything you want, but just make sure to keep it nice and short. A way that they can contact you, be it an email, a phone, if you feel comfortable putting a phone on social media. But just keep it nice and consistent, nice and easy to read, nice and simple. Make it so it reads like you're a professional, not a person that's trying to be a professional. And that line gets blurred a lot because everybody has different ideas of what it's supposed to be. But just keep it nice and short, and it'll be better than cramming like, visual development artist, character designer, illustrator, background artist, drafter, designer, graphic artist, t-shirt maker, sculptor, everything. No, you can't have everything into your profile. You just can't. So just keep it nice and short, and if anybody actually, let your work speak for everything else that you can do. Yes, I am reading off a script. Normally don't do this anymore, but I figured that it would be a little bit easier with this to actually write down the process, so I don't rant forever. Point number 5. Every single one of your posts, sir, should have a reason. Make sure to, if you are an artist, tell a story with your posts. Make sure that most of your posts are for your followers. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean, if you're selling a product, don't spam the hell out of, linking your product for the other people. This is already a tough one because if you're just there to sell a product, you have to gauge how much you can spam for people to buy it, and then how much not to before they block you completely. So that's already a tough one. But if you're an artist, make sure that you're not just posting like, go visit my website, go do this, go do that. No, just post things that are going to add value to people's lives in one way or another. So if you follow me, I try to post hints, I try to post tips, I try to post things that you can do better, how you can improve. I try to post life lessons through my own personal experiences. But, it seems to actually have worked. People actually enjoy that sort of stuff. And it gives people a reason to come back to your channel or to your Instagram or anything. They see a post, and if they see that you're consistently putting out information that's going to be entertaining to them, be it, oh man, he is feeling really sad today. Well, I'm feeling really sad today too. That sucks. Like, comment, hey, be okay, man. It'd be something as simple as that, or just post things that are going on in your life. You never know who's going to relate to it. And you're going to be better off with it like that than just trying to, like, check out my cool Deadpool drawing. Check out my website. Or prints are being sold now. Try to make sure that most of the posts are just geared towards making other people's lives better in some way or another, rather than just trying to make yours better. Point 6. Be consistent with your posting. Okay. Well, this one is what most people are having a hard time with whenever I talk to them, at least. What I mean by that is make sure that you're not posting 10 things one day and then you go 3 weeks without posting something, and then you post 5 things again, and then you go another week without posting. That is the worst way to try to get people to follow you. Set a schedule, and if you create a ton of art one day, spread it out. Make sure that you post every other day. If you don't have to draw, if you don't have time to draw a certain day, make sure that you have a piece of artwork that you can post for that day. Make backups, plan ahead, make a schedule, and try to keep to it. That's going to be the number one key, no matter what platform it is. For example, I'm horrible at updating my YouTube. I started with 2 videos a day, 2 videos a week. And then I went without posting something for a long time because I was just sad. And then I just didn't post anything for a while. And then I posted 2 videos. And then, no, I have to start being more consistent as well. I fall into that same problem, and it's tough. It's tough trying to figure out the balance. But if you want to be consistent and grow, then that's going to be something you have to think of. Point 7. Engage with your following. Reply to comments. Message back. And talk to people. These are the people that are following you for a reason. They like your work. Don't be a snob. So many artists that get past a certain point forget this. They like to think that they're above talking to the people that are following them. No. Try to engage with as many people as you can. You get some crazy people here and there. I've gotten like 3 people that are asking me to give them my profile, like my actual Instagram profile. That's ridiculous. Why would I give you my profile? And you get like really crazy people that are very obsessed with you. And it's flattering, but not that flattering. So yeah, you gotta just make sure that if you see a little bit of a crazy person when you're talking to them, just block them. It's not worth it. It really isn't. The last thing you want is a stalker, but make sure to engage with everybody else. 90% of the time, 99% of the time, it'll be really cool people, and you never know who you meet. Maybe you talk to another cool artist. Maybe you meet a person that you really enjoy talking to. I know I've met a few people that are actually pretty good friends with me now just because I engaged with them. And yeah, man, like that's a big part. That's a huge part. Don't be a snob. Simple as that. Point 8. Defining who you are is going to be a big part of this. Like, you have to decide if you're going to post, especially if you're going to be posting anything that can turn the tables on your channel or on your social media in general. So, for example, I try to stay away from politics. I try to stay away from religion. I have very clear points in those, 2 points, but I don't post about it because I don't know if my following, like the people that I follow, are going to get offended and they're just going to, hate or anything. I just try to keep it nice and neutral. I try to keep it positive, and, you have to give a lot more than you ask for. When it comes down to product pages, well, Jake Parker put it really, 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 really in a good way. Make sure to give 5 times as much as you take or as you ask. So for every time that you ask people to go purchase your product or go to your website or go do something, give them 5 reasons to just come back to your page without you spamming them. Same thing with an artist. Give. Maybe it's with fan art. Maybe it's with, taking people's requests for drawings. Especially if you're barely starting out. That's one way to do it. How I did it was exactly like that. I went from having I had like 400 followers to I ended the year with 29,000. This was 1 year because the formula worked for me. I would, at first, before I got like a couple thousand, it would be 3, like Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, I would do fan art. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, I would post something of mine. So people would start coming in initially to see some cool fan art, and then eventually you start like mixing in your artwork with that, and then people will slowly start liking your stuff more than the fan art. And then you start weeding out the fan art, and then you just eventually end up with a following for just your artwork. It took a long time. It took a lot of consistency. And as you can see on my Instagram, I have like 1,000 or almost 2,000 posts, because I would post once a day, sometimes twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day, and just spread them out throughout the day so people constantly kept on seeing my name without being spam. And I've never asked for anything from anybody. It's more like I just give out to my following, and it's worked so far. So that's what worked for me. Maybe it works for you too. Let's see. Point number 9. Well, these are some basic strategies for some social medias like Facebook and Instagram and YouTube that I can give you hints on. And I'm not going to give you hints on Twitter and Tumblr and Snapchat, mostly or DeviantArt, because I don't have them. I've never touched Twitter. I've never seen the point of Twitter as an artist, as a person that posts art. Tumblr, I've never understood that site. I use it from time to time, but just look up stuff. But I've never really used it to post things. Maybe I should. I don't know. Maybe. And Snapchat, one time, like one-time pictures don't do it for me. Like, I want people to be able to consistently be able to come back and see my work. So that's why I don't like it. Okay. Instagram, obviously, is my favorite. It's just purely visual, so I can speak with my artwork and then just post like a little bit of what I think that day. It seems like on Instagram, a lot of people prefer to see work in progress, like doodles and sketches in work in progress stuff, than final work. It's very, very weird how I will spend hours and hours on a finished illustration and it will get less likes than a 15-minute drawing that I did during my break. It's weird. I never really understood that. And at first, when I barely started, I would just post all my finished work because I thought that would be really cool, but it never picked up. I just don't know why. People just like drawings, like doodles, like black and white. I use blue pen, but that's what people like. It's really weird. But that's how it works there, and that's why I post things like that. Facebook, for me at least, my personal opinion is that Facebook sucks. Facebook fan pages suck horribly. Why, you might ask? Well, Facebook, let's say I have 1,000 followers on my Facebook fan page. I have a little bit more than that, but I have about 1,000 so. Out of those 1,000 people, it seems like only about 80 people are able to see any post that I put. And then Facebook tries to ask you to pay them like $3, $5, or $10 for your audience to actually see your work. So like, oh, you can boost your post for $3 and 450 more people will see this. I'm like, dude, I work to get these fans. Like, I can understand something like this being relevant for a huge company like Coke or Nike or Reebok. People that have millions. But on small fan pages, that's horrible because not even 1/10 of your people that are following you are going to get any of your posts. So there's absolutely no point. Absolutely no point. And that's with 1,200 followers. If you have a lot less than that, then that's absolutely worthless. Might as well post all your stuff on your personal page and then just turn that into your fan page. Or just make one that's a normal page strictly for your fans. But then you have to log in and out, and it's just a pain in the ass. I personally don't like Facebook at all for promoting myself. I just don't like it. And YouTube. Well, YouTube, I'm barely venturing into it. I have like 24, 25 videos with this one. But I find that if you post anything interesting and you make sure that you have title cards that are nice and you make sure to mention all your other social media within your videos and you actually post relevant stuff and not just the same thing over and over and over, you'll do okay. This channel has been growing a little bit faster than I thought I would. We're almost at 2,000 followers and I am super pleased with it. If I posted more consistently and I posted more, it might be a little bit bigger, but I'm not complaining. I love all you guys and you guys are amazing and you guys have, been making this worthwhile. I am here to help all of you and that is my goal. That is the only reason I do these. I don't do these for money. I don't ask for anything. And, because I have a full-time job and everything. But if I ever decide to actually make this into a full-time job, maybe I'll just, make a Patreon and make tutorials and stuff like that. And then, whoever's really interested will come support. And, for all those people that just want to see some free content, I'll still be posting free content all the time. But that'll come in time, maybe in the future, who knows. And, well, okay, this video is about 25 minutes long so far. So let me give you some final thoughts on everything. Okay? If you want to have people engage with you more in all your social media, make sure to ask questions when you post something. Make polls, make surveys, do giveaways, and make sure to make your people engage with you and engage back. Make sure to follow through. Make sure to tag other artists. Give shout outs to people that are coming up still. Make sure that people realize that you're not just in this as a selfish person with just your best intentions in mind. No, you're here for the community. You're here to make everything better for everybody. Everybody should be looking at your page as a guideline as to what to do. So think about yourself as a semi-leader in that way or another. If you see yourself like that, you're going to, first of all, feel really good about yourself because you're going to be making a difference. People will look up to you. Which is still weird that people look up to me, but I still don't know why. But I'll take it. And yeah, that's a good way to go about it. Make sure to hashtag your work properly on Instagram at least. Hashtag and, tagging your stuff on YouTube. Make sure that the proper tags are being put. People don't always put all they're supposed to into their hashtags, or they're not going to the people that they want or they should. So a lot of the audience that might like your work is not going to see it because you guys don't hashtag it properly. There's little apps that give you proper hashtags. I mean, I don't like using those, but I mean, they probably help. I just have the same hashtags I use for everything, and I just copy and paste it. I have it in a little notepad on my phone. Just copy and paste it into the end of my posts, and it goes to the target audience that I want. And if I need to switch something up because I drew a dinosaur instead of a panda, then I just do that. It doesn't take too long. Just do it. Don't be spammy or desperate. There is nothing that people hate more than when you comment, "Hey man, come check out my work. Hey man, I would really like it if you came take a look at my stuff." I'm sorry guys, we get these all the time. And honestly, I just don't want to come off as mean, but the last thing you want is to act desperate with other artists. You can engage with people and ask for help and advice in a way that's not directly like, "Hey, come follow my work." Just no, it's I can't explain really why it's so annoying, but it is. And just be confident in your work and people will come to it. You don't want to have to beg people to follow you, because then those people are not going to really, want to engage with you or get anything out of it. Just be cool. Be cool. Be cool. Okay, another good point. Make sure that you find out when the best times it is to post your work. A good way to do this is if you make an Instagram and it turns into a business account, it gives you all these statistics and it gives you graphs and it gives you an idea of when your audience is engaging with your posts. It helps out a lot. I find that I've been posting every single day about 10:30, 11 for a year and a half. So most of my audience comes in at that time. And then sometimes I post right before I go to bed. So it spikes up again around 11 or 12. It's different for other people. So make sure to check the statistics that the websites give you so you can actually make a very good understanding of what you got to do and when you got to post. And guys, pretty much the last thing that I want to say to you is have fun with your posts. Have fun with your social media. Don't create things strictly for other people. Make sure that at the end of the day, you're doing it because it's fun for you, not because you just want to get famous, not because you want to be the next big thing. People that go into it like that never achieve anything. it doesn't get past a certain point, because when it doesn't happen for them, they tend to just give up. So make sure that it's something that you enjoy. Make sure that it's something that you want to do just because you want to do it. And people will come to that. People are going to be attracted to that. So hopefully all these tips help, in some way or another. If you guys have any other comments or any other ideas of what has worked for you in the past, leave them in the comments. I'll be more than happy to take a look at them and, add them to my next video if I ever make another one of these. Well, I'm going to leave you guys on that. I hope that, if you guys get a chance to, drop by Jake Parker's page or website and see if he has anything related to this topic as well. I learned a lot from him, and a lot of these points were derived from notes from hearing what he spoke. And I highly recommend you guys check him out. He's a very inspirational person. But on that note, thank you so much. Please like and subscribe if you guys actually enjoy what I'm doing. I'm going to be streaming more often. First stream that I ever did was last week. I'm going to be doing some fan streams and drawing as many people as I can of my fans within those hours that I stream. I might do them on Fridays or Saturdays. Not sure yet. I'll set up a schedule. So you can just keep in contact on my Instagram. And other than that, thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful day, night, evening, whatever it is for you. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.